the Autogen, right? So Autogen is, like I said, let me do some sort of a search over here. So one is Autogen Studio and one is basically Microsoft Autogen, like library wise. So I can try to use in both the mode, and this is something that we have already done. So we have already done the installation of Autogen Studio, and then we have already launched a Autogen Studio UI wise. So let me launch it once again. So just open up any CMD, and then this step we have already done. Those who have not done that, so maybe you can do it now. So you just have to install and then you have to launch it. That's it. Yeah. So I've just pinged you a command, guys, in your chat. Fine. So now Autogen Studio will be live over here. And with the help of this UI interface, so maybe I can try to, yeah. So maybe with the help of this UI interface, I can try to create basically a agent. So here technically it's called as a team, right? So I can try to build a team. I can try to, build a different kind of a agent assistant over here. And I can try to, attach a different kind of a tool, by the way, right? So here we have a team. Team is nothing but it's a orchestrator, by the way, and which is going to invoke a different kind of a agent. And in every agent, you will be able to find out as per the definition of the agent. So nothing has basically changed even over here. So you can try to give an access of LLM over here. You can try to give an access of a tool, basically a function, right? So you can try to drop as many tool as possible to one particular agent. Simple. And here, so inside a particular team, so you can try to drag and drop multiple agents, basically, as you can see over here, right? So we can try to drag and drop. We can try to go and create a multiple agent, and we can try to attach a multiple agent with this one. Now, so here I think I have already given you a brief about this one. So basically you can try to create a team. You can try to create agents, and you can try to create a tools. You can try to attach a model. And all of these, some of the sample tools and agents and teams, all those things are given to us, right? We can try to use a default one, but yeah, default one is just for the experimentation, nothing more than that. I mean, like just for 5 to 10 minutes of demo, or you can say 8 minutes of demo, right? This is going to work, but yeah, beyond this, it is not going to work at all. Beyond this, you will have to identify your use cases, and as per your use case, you have to basically write a code for that one, right? You have to write a code for that one because it is not going to work. As you can see, right? These are just demo things which is given to all of us now. So this is okay. This is completely fine, basically. So we can try to create this team, and we can try to drag and drop, and we can try to attach all of these agents and its respective tool to any of this team, and we can try to run it. We can try to test it, right? We can try to download even a code if I want, and eventually that code is nothing but a Python code. Basically, I can try to download it, and then I can try to even run it basically in my VS Code or anywhere, like in any kind of a code editor. So this is one, right? This is one that you all will be able to find out. The another approach is a coding approach, right? So we can try to start creating things with just a coding. But nowadays, the way this entire agentic things are moving, and again, so after this OpenAI launch, right? So Agent Kit Builder that has been launched by OpenAI. So everyone is, and again, Crew AI. I have already shown you a Crew AI studio, right? We have seen a init-n, and again, there is a platform called as JPL. So the way this entire agentic world is moving, so everyone is trying to give you not a coding based approach. So everyone is trying to give you a visual approach, a visual builder. Everyone is trying to give you, right? init-n by default, it's a visual one. They are trying to add one more layer so that you can just go chat and then things will be built for you. If I'll talk about this Autogen, so yeah, visually. Crew AI, so obviously they have also given you a Crew AI beta mode of this visual builder. And recently I have received some sort of a newsletter. I have already subscribed to their newsletter, so I have seen that they have released some new feature in their visual builder. So where you can just chat and then like many things you will be able to do it without even writing a single line of a code or without even doing a drag and drop, right? So now people are even like moving beyond a drag and drop, and they are trying to give you a feature so where you will just like chat, and then one by one all of these things will be built, and you just have to set the parameter for that one. So maybe API key and all the connection keys and auth, you just have to set it up. So yeah, people are like moving towards a visual builder. But again, so in some of the cases you will have to do a coding, you will have to take care, or you have to control your entire thing. So in that case, obviously you have to write a code, and then only you will be able to build it. For example, so recently, not recently, so my team was doing a experimentation, by the way, and as a part of that experimentation, so basically my team has created this WhatsApp agent. I don't know whether you have tested it or not. So maybe you can go to this number and then you can try to test it now. Yesterday we were talking about this in our group as well. So this is pure agentic one. So this one, and this was just an experimentation that we were doing, right? Just experimentation. So this is not something that I have released so far, made an announcement. So we were just doing experimentation. And as a part of this experimentation, we were like trying to understand that, okay, whether we should go ahead with the visual approach, whether we should go ahead with the coding approach, and then what will be the limitation, what will be the latency, many more things, right? Many more things. So we figured out that in terms of like building something visually, right? Obviously it's easy, right? Obviously it's easy, but again you will be having a very less control in terms of like optimization, right? In terms of optimization, because someone has written that node and you can't change a code for that particular node. The only thing that you can do is like initiate the connectivity. Apart from that, nothing is under your control. You can't do anything technically, right? So if I have to build something like this one, so where I can ask a question that tell me about Euron, right? And where it is supposed to give me a response in a fraction of second. As you can see, it is like it had started typing. That by the time I have asked some question, it is not going to work well with respect to a visual approach, right? With respect to a visual approach, and that's the biggest problem, right? That's the biggest problem. So here basically we have tried this one, the Yuri AI inside this WhatsApp, because and why agentic is required. One more thing, right? So here we have not just integrated some chat GPT kind of a model. Yeah, that is there so that it will be able to give you all the answers. But we have integrated a full database, right? If you are going to ask a question that what was a latest batch launched, what was the latest batch launched? So obviously it is supposed to go and check a Euron database, and before that it is supposed to decide, right? So as you can see, it is telling me that okay, the recent batch launch was basically generative AI certification bootcamp 2.0. that's a recent launch. So obviously it has to go to my databases. First of all, it has to decide that whether I should go and query some LLMs and give an answer, or I should go into a database and then query. Again, database wise, so we have so many tables, we have so many databases, and again we have like a multiple platforms. So sometime we are trying to store some data on a Postgres, sometime we are trying to store some data on a MongoDB, right? So and many things, right? So many things. It's a complex architecture that we have in a backend. If I'll talk about a Euron backend, because we have so many products, so it is supposed to decide, take a decision. So obviously it is supposed to be agentic. So what we have done, so we have created a multiple tools in a backend, and then we have given all the access. But the major part which I'm just trying to talk about over here is that latency, right? It is not supposed to go and take maybe like a 30-second of time, or maybe even a 15-second of time. It is supposed to give me a response immediately. and that was not very much convenient in terms of building something visually, right? In terms of building something visually, and that was the major problem, right? That was a major problem, and that's the reason. So we have just coded each and everything, and yeah, performance is literally very good. Maybe you can try to test it, right? And many people have even tested. Now we are trying to attach even a real time search feature in this one. We are trying to even attach basically a voice mode input, so speech to text and text to speech mode input also we are trying to integrate. And you can just talk to this one in your own language. It's completely fine. So even if I'm going to ask the same question maybe in my own language, or like, it will be able to understand, right? So many things is done, but yeah, just like I'm telling you this story because whenever someone is going to ask you a question in an interview that whether you are going to use a visual builder or you are going to write a code, so it depends upon my task. Let's suppose I'm trying to run some sort of a batch job every day, right? And I have a time. Latency is not a bottleneck. In that case, obviously, I can go ahead with maybe a visual builder. I can rely on a visual builder. Even when I have to like automate a small processes where time is not a constraint, right? Or latency is not a constraint. Obviously, I can go ahead with the visual builder. But wherever I have a constraint with respect to a latency, a speed in terms of giving an output, in terms of processing everything, then obviously I will always suggest to go ahead with the code based approach, right? Again, you can even like argue with me saying that okay, let's suppose if I'm going with the visual builder, maybe I can try to increase a size of the instances, means from the machine side, from the hardware side, if I'm going to maintain and manage this the entire latency. Yeah, you can do that, but it will cost you a lot, right? Maybe your company, your manager or your client will not agree for that one in the long term, right? And the major part is we all look for the control. So if you are looking for a control over a latency, over the optimization, then coding based approach. Otherwise, go ahead with the visual based approach. Rest will be your decision at the end of the day. Fine, guys. I think this is clear, right? Because everyone is coming up with the visual builder, right? Even Autogen Studio is having a visual builder. N8N is having a visual builder. Crew AI is having a visual builder, right? Even like this OpenAI agent kit, so they came up with the visual builder. Yeah, this doesn't give the real-time data. Like I have asked what is the temperature of Bangalore. No, I told you, right? So real-time integration, real-time Google search integration we have not done. In some time, I think in 1 or 2 days it will be like added over there. Where to get a JSON for this WhatsApp agent? Which one? This one? Basically, it's something which we are creating as a product. So it's not a part of your lecture, by the way. Yeah, it's not a part of your lecture. I'm just showing you like this is something that we have built for Euron. So it can be built for like anything out there. It's not the N8N automation, by the way. We are not using N8N over here. Okay. Now let's move ahead. So today, what we are going to do, so we are going to see a demo with respect to our Autogen, and like I said, so we are going to use a coding based approach where we are going to automate a report. So as you can see, yesterday I was testing it out, and yeah, so basically I will be having a data. So let's suppose I have a sales data and I have a marketing data, which is coming into my system on a regular basis. And my manager asked me, and because we all know that inside the industry, reporting is a crucial part, and every team, right, whether you are a part of sales team, marketing team, or even a tech team, so everywhere we used to create a massive report. Every time we used to create a massive report, by the way. Now, so keeping that in a mind, so I have just automated this entire sales and marketing report with the help of agents. So here what will happen? Every day at 9 o'clock, this is what I have scheduled. You can schedule it for maybe like 4 times a day, 5 times a day, or maybe once in a week. So every time at 9 o'clock, it is going to send a report over my mail. I have already done the real-time integration of the mail. So whatever mail you are going to configure, it will send up that particular report to that particular mail ID. And as you can see, so sales revenue by region, quarterly sales performance, and product distribution revenue wise, and like marketing performance, and then conversion marketing, and then key highlights. So whatever I have configured, basically it is going to send those detail over a mail. Not just over a mail, so I have even configured it for a telegram. So if I have to show you this part, yeah. So basically I have done an integration with the telegram as well. So as you can see, I'm getting a report even over a telegram, same report, whatever report I'm sending. The fun part over here is that I'm not sending this particular response over a telegram to a bot. So basically I'm sending to a particular number, right? Or you can say a particular user. So in telegram you will be able to find out two different things. So one, interacting with the bot, and in my last class, in my previous classes, so we have interacted with the bot, by the way. But in today's class, so what we are going to do, so we are going to send this one to some numbers. So you will be able to send to any numbers. And in real life, obviously, if I'm sending a report, so obviously I can't send a report to a bot. It will be having no meaning. So I have to send a report to my manager or to someone so who will be like having a complete authorization for this particular report and who can use this report, by the way. So this is something that we are going to do with the help of Autogen. You can try to create this entire report. You can do it all of these things even by using any other agentic framework. That's completely okay, right? That's completely okay. But yeah, so we'll try to do it with the help of agent. So let me go ahead and let me design this entire flow, that what we will be doing. Hope the idea is clear, right, everyone? Yeah, that what we are going to do. And one more thing, so we most of the time we talk about like a agentic and all those things, but in real time you will be able to find out that everywhere agentic is not required. So in mostly like a 70 to 80% of the cases, without even using a agentic, I can automate the things and in real time, basically. So whenever you are trying to pick and choose that whether I should go ahead with the agentic approach or whether I should go ahead with the non-agentic approach, uh, I think we all should take a decision wisely, right? Everything is not supposed to be like a, agentic. Agentic simply means that wherever I would like to like, take a decision, I would just wanted to give a decision making capability to some LLMs, and where I'm interacting with the NLP, natural language, by the way. Yeah. So only in that cases we have to like, introduce a agentic. So here, let me design this part. So what we are going to do, so we have two funnels. One is basically a marketing funnel, and let's suppose we have a sales funnel. So we have sales funnel. Yeah. So we have marketing funnel and we have a sales funnel. Now what we will try to do, so we will try to take a data. As of now, I'm trying to keep a data into a JSON file format, and I have basically 1,000 record inside this marketing, and I have 1,000 record for a sales. But yeah, in a real time, obviously your data will come from the variety of the sources. Maybe every day you are doing some sort of a sales team is trying to update those sales into some of the tools, or maybe some of the ERP solution, or maybe somewhere, right? Maybe some CRM, right? Or maybe in some lead management tool. So maybe you are trying to store all of these data. If I'm talking about if I'm going to talk about the small companies, so maybe they are storing all those data into some drive, or maybe in some local system. So as of now, I'm keeping all of this data in my local system. You can try to integrate this data with any kind of a DB. I believe we all know how to integrate with any kind of a databases. Okay. So we will be having two different data, like I said. So one is marketing, one is sales, and we are going to basically pull these data, and we are going to basically like store this entire data set into a chroma db, let's suppose, or you can say we are going to vectorize this data. So in a vector database we are going to store all of these data set. So sales data and this like marketing data, so both will go into some vector databases. I'm trying to use a agentic approach along with that. So I'm trying to use even a RAG approach, a retrieval augmented generation kind of a approach, so that I will be able to build a AI, so which will be aware about the context, right? Which will be because I'm going to give an instruction in like in a natural language, and it can go to the RAG database. It can do a RAG, and technically to do a RAG, it has to go into a vector databases, and it has to like fire some sort of a query over there. So I'm going to dump all of this data into a vector databases. Vector database wise, I can use any of these databases that we have already discussed in the past. I'm going to use a Chroma DB, Chroma in a local. You can try to even make it like a global if you want, because we all know that Chroma DB is having a like they are giving you like a self-hosted basically like a Chroma instances. So I will try to send this data into a vector DB, and to send this data into a vector DB, so obviously I have to use some of the LLM for a embedding. So yes, I will be using LLM for a embedding over here, which is going to help me out to vectorize the entire data set. So this is something which I will be using with respect to the vector DB. Now once data is available over here, I'm going to build multiple agents over here. I'm going to basically build up multiple agents. Now, what kind of an agent I'm going to build? So this is just a data storage. Now, so how my entire system is going to flow, how my entire system is going to work. So let's suppose I'm going to ask a question that give me a marketing report, right? For maybe last 1 month or 1 day or 1 week or something like that. All of my data set is available inside the vector databases, let's suppose. So everything inside this system is going to start with a query. So let's suppose I'm going to ask a query that here try to give me the report for maybe last couple of days. Okay. So what will happen with respect to a query? So query will go to a RAG system, right? It will go through a RAG system. And when I say it will go through a RAG system, simply means what? So query will try to fire itself on a vector database, and then it is going to do like a relevancy search, and then it is going to bring all of those data based on maybe a cosine similarity or maybe some other approaches. But yeah, this is what it is going to happen. So query will simply go inside my vector DB, and it is going to do some sort of a search operation, by the way. So query will be fired here. It will go to vector databases, and then from vector databases, I will be able to fetch basically a top N record. Okay. Fine. I'll be able to fetch basically a top N record. Now, once I will be able to fetch this top N record as per my query, right? So then I'm going to give this entire top N record to my agents which I'm going to create with the help of Autogen. Yeah. So what are the kind of agent I will be having? So I will be having like a different kind of agent. The very first agent which I will be having may be a data analyst agent. So here top N record, and it will go to my agent number 1, you can say. Agent number 1, and this agent number 1 is technically a data analyst agent. So it will go to my agent number 1, and this agent is going to basically do a data analysis. Means, so whatever data that we have retrieved, means top N record that we have retrieved, so basically based on my instruction which I have given, so it is going to calculate all the KPIs, a key performance indicator, because key performance indicator will be a part of any kind of a report from a business side. So it is going to like calculate all the matrices, it is going to calculate all the KPIs, and it is going to understand the trend over there, it is going to understand the pattern, it is going to understand who was the top performer in terms of marketing, and it is going to technically give me a data driven insights. This is what any data analyst does in any companies, by the way. So it will take a top N record, and it will go to my agent number 1. And once agent number 1 is technically a data analyst agent, once this agent will be able to analyze a data, and the analysis of data wise I have already mentioned. So what and all task it will do. So analyze retrieved data. This is our first task. Second task, maybe calculate the metrics and KPI. Then maybe it is going to do something like identify the trend in data, and then provide a data driven insights. Yeah. So these are the tasks technically this particular agent is going to perform for me. Agent number 1. All of these tasks will be done by this particular agent. Yeah. Agent number 1, which is nothing but a data analysis agent. Now, once agent number 1 will be able to finish its job, it is going to perform all of these operations as per my instruction, which I am going to feed, or I can say I can code inside my this one inside my entire a system. So then it will go to a agent number 2. So from here things will flow to a agent number 2. As I am trying to build a multi-agent scenario, agent number 2. Now, what agent number 2 will do? So, whatever agent number 1 is able to finish, or whatever agent number 1 is able to do it, so agent number 2 is going to extend that particular job. So, basically agent number 2 will behave as a report writer. So, it is able to analyze, it is able to do all the KPIs and everything. So, here whatever agent number 1 is able to accomplish, simple, it will go inside the agent number 2, just like any other agentic system or chain-based agentic system. So one output will go as an input inside the another one, and then this particular agent is going to perform a different task. So first of all, take and list findings as an input. Obviously it is going to consider. Now after that, so create a professional report structure, then write a executive summary, and then format with clean and clear outcome, and then provide some sort of a recommendation if recommendations are required. Provide recommendation. So this is something which will be done by my agent number 2 at the end of the day. Agent number 2. So it will be able to create a report finally for me, right, based on the agent number 1 finding. And then it is going to send this entire findings and whatever summary that it has created to my visualization engine basically. So it is going to send this entire output. There will be agent number 3, or you can say there will be a orchestrator agent which is going to manage both of these agents. So there is something called as user proxy inside Autogen, so which actually behaves as a or controls the agent internally. So now from here my flow will go to where? So my flow will go to technically a visualization engine, because I'm trying to, like, send each and everything not just as a raw data. Yeah, I'm just trying to send all of these things as a visualization. If you will go and check my mail that I have like created this one, so I'm trying to create a visualization. Not just that, so I'm trying to even attach a report in write-ups, right? So that anyone, if my manager would like to see the analysis of my sales report or maybe my marketing report, right? So he or she will be able to read this entire report as well, which has been actually created by my agent, as you can see. And yeah, so even a executive summary and recommendation, as you can see, recommendations are also available, insights and trends are also available. So whatever like things which I have like given to my agent is just trying to perform as it is. So I'm trying to create a summary, I'm trying to create a visualization. Now to do a visualization, so I'm using a graph library, Matplotlib, by the way. And yeah, so it will send this entire data to the visualization engine, because I have to basically send this visualized graph to my manager. That was the requirement. Generally, this is what we do in terms of creating the reports. So fine, from here, it will go to the visualization engine. It will try to visualize each and everything. And once data will pass through my visualization engine, so then what we are trying to do, so we are trying to send this data in two places. I can send this data to a multiple places. So one is a mail and another one is a personal telegram. My manager's telegram, let's suppose, personal telegram. I can send it to maybe in other channels, maybe like let's suppose my manager is asking for a report over a Slack or maybe over some different system. So I can simply send those report anywhere I want. Maybe over a WhatsApp. If my manager is looking for a report, I can send it even over there. So from visualization engine, it will go here and it will go technically here. Simple. So this is overall flow that we are going to create. But yeah, there will be a lot which is going to happen in between all of these processes. Now what we are trying to do, so now we are going to take this entire system, right? We are going to basically take this entire system and we are going to wrap it up with the scheduler, this entire system, right? And we are going to wrap up this entire system with respect to a scheduler, so that every day my report will go, or my report should, it should generate the entire report as per the data that we are going to receive, and automatically it should send a report. I'm not supposed to sit and watch, basically, right? I'm not supposed to sit and watch. So basically it's a trigger, right? We have already created a lot of triggers in case of a init-n. So same thing we are going to do over here. I'm not even supposed to, go and chat with this system every day. Yeah, that is the option which I can give to my manager, that, okay, if you are looking for more insights, more data, so take this like a chat system and then maybe you can chat. But my manager, let's suppose, is not interested at all in terms of, chat system. My manager simply said that okay, I want this 10 matrices. Simple. And this is what happens across our industry, right? So I just want my 10 matrices and give it to me. And every stakeholder will be having their own matrices. So a stakeholder will come and say that, okay, fine. So I just want these many matrices, give it to me and I'm done. If I have to give a chat option, obviously I can give a chat option because I have a data inside the vector DB, and obviously like I can just attach agents over here, which will be able to go fetch the data, summarize it, and then eventually it will be able to give. But no, I'm not giving a chat option in this one, although that's the option. So here, scheduler. So basically I'm going to wrap up this entire things with respect to the scheduler, so that at a particular time every day it will try to fire itself, and I will be able to get a report at 9 o'clock, let's suppose, in my mail as well as inside my telegram, so that if I'm going for a meeting, I will be ready for that. Yeah. So this is the entire flow, guys. So basically we are going to orchestrate each and everything under a scheduler finally. And these two agents which I was talking about, So this is something that we are going to create it with the help of Autogen library. Like I said, Autogen is not the only library. Maybe you can try to use some other libraries and you can try to create it. It's up to you. Can we create an agent which will give a fetch record from Jira and submit the report? Yeah, you can connect with any system. Even Jira gives you so creating any connection is nothing but you can say a glorified HTTPS request. Simple. So even in NetN or any other platform, so basically what you do, so basically they have given you a node, and technically what that node is doing, HTTPS request, right? So connecting with any system in this entire world is technically a glorified HTTPS request if you are doing it in terms of a node. Yeah. So any system is literally any system, whether it's a ServiceNow, whether it's a Jira, whether it's your Slack, right? You can connect back and forth in two-way, right? With every system. Every system is literally every system because they have given, wherever they have given you a API, you can connect it. As simple as that. Okay. So hope this idea is clear. What we are going to see, what we are going to do. Yeah. So this system, this is something that we are going to see it. So here I have already created this project. Let me run this project. So I'm just going to execute this project from my command prompt. I'm just going to call now. So now means basically it will send now. Otherwise it will go for a scheduling. And you will be able to, and I'm logging everything. I'm logging everything means I'm logging even what agent is doing, how agent is trying to make a decision. Each and everything I'm going to log. But I'm just going to run this project and then I would like to show you. Then I'll go ahead with the this one. I'll just go ahead with the code a description. So just wait. It generally takes 2 to 3 minutes of time to finalize the entire process because it's a 2000 record which I am processing. So 1000 from a sales and 1000 from a marketing basically. Sir, could you read out? Consider we are fetch data from the Atlassian Confluence. It is a good approach to fetch directly, or do we need to use a MCP server? See, MCP is nothing but again another kind of a protocol, right? Just like a HTTPS request. HTTPS is also a REST that we try to do. So again, that is also one of the protocol, which is going to provide you a flexibility in terms of exposing your entire system to the outer world. MCP is just like that. So it's not like you should go ahead with MCP because someone told you, or maybe someone has glorified that, okay, go ahead with the MCP, or everyone is talking about it. I don't think that that's a good approach, right? Whatever convenient for you, just go with that. Yeah. Obviously, with the help of MCP, you can do it because I'm going to teach you. I think by next week itself, we'll be having a discussion on MCP, and you will be able to see that it's not very different, right? It's not just a protocol. We are exposing our own system to some other system. That's it. So now as you can see, yeah, I have received the mail. Yes, see, I have received the mail based on my data set. So it has created a beautiful report for me and it has sent me a mail just now. Now it will try to send even a report to my Telegram, right? So yeah, as you can see, I have received a report on my Telegram as well. It's a 9:58 AM and all of these reports are available in my personal DM basically, right? So in my DM on my number, so it is sending me the report. So finally, this is something that system will do on a daily basis. Now, whatever kind of a report, whatever kind of a matrices I am looking for, it will be done by system. So technically, it's a full scale report automation that I'm talking about, right? A full scale report automation. Any kind of a report means any kind of a report. Maybe some manager is asking you this, that matrices, some other manager is asking you this, that matrices. That's okay. It's fine. As per my stakeholders, I'll try to just give a direction to my agents. My agent will do that, and then I can go and configure that, okay, send this report to this email ID, send this report to that email ID, maybe that Telegram, this WhatsApp, that Slack, whatever, right? Or maybe a Teams. So, and this is something which we all are using it. So I'm showing you with respect to marketing data and sales data. But this is something which every team are going to do, because every team needs a report, right? This is what we try to discuss in a morning call, or maybe in a stakeholders call, right? And in every meeting, right? Every day you must be having a meetings, you will be having a performance report, even HR, right? Even finance. So every team, even a tech team, right? That, okay, so how many like ticket has been raised, and what was the P1, what was how many P0, how many we were able to resolve, or basically how many feature we have released or we are going to release. Each and everything we try to do it, right? So basically I have made this entire process agentic. I'm using Autogen library, but like I said, I can use any libraries over here to do this agents, and I can do the exact same thing. So it's not going to make like a much of differences. But yeah, as I have to teach like Autogen in your class, so I have said that, okay, fine, so let's build this entire application by using a Autogen basically. So now line by line, I'm not going to write a code, because it's a very big code base to make it working. So I had to struggle a lot with respect to technically like a lot of installation and a lot of code. So let's open up a VS Code, and we'll move file by file, not line by line. So here, what I will do, I'll try to create a directory, because we have taken a lot of classes, and I believe we are very much comfortable with the lengthy codes. So here, Autogen Microsoft report generator agent. So this is the name of the folder which I am going to give. Yeah. Now, first of all, let's go ahead and let's try to create a requirements.txt file. requirements requirements.txt. Yeah. And let's try to keep all the requirements in one single place. So these are library. So I'm going to use basically a Autogen over here. It's a PyAutogen. So Pythonic version of this Autogen is simply called as PyAutogen, which is available inside a PyPy library. I'm going to use a OpenAI basically key over here. You can try to use Uri key as well, as both are completely fine. At the end of the day, I need an LLM, so I'm just using one over here, right? And rest of these libraries are just simple like a library that we try to use anywhere to build any kind of a system. So this is my requirement.txt file. requirements. Yeah, spelling is correct. This and let me do one thing. So let me try to create a new environment over here. So maybe I can try to create conda create, or I can use even a Python to create a new environment. Conda create -n Autogen yeah. Okay. So after creating this one, so maybe I can try to do pip install -r requirements.txt. I'll share the code, don't worry. So the entire code base will be shared with all of you. Just try to see over here. Like just try to understand the entire flow, and then I will be sharing the entire code base, and you will be able to run it just by like changing your credentials. So don't have to do anything. You just have to like change the credential, and it will work in your system. And even you can try to bring those things to the deployment. And you can try to, schedule it like every day 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, send me this report and bind it with the data. It has failed to build an installation wheel for this one, matplotlib. Okay, we'll try to check. What is the Python version? So 3.12, that's okay. Okay. So here we have a requirement.txt file, and then let's try to create one folder called as data folder. Requirement.txt, let me send you this code. Yeah. Then there is a data folder. Now inside data folder, I'm going to keep two files. But in ideal situations, obviously you have to basically create connectivity with the databases or from wherever you are fetching the data. Maybe you are fetching a data from a Jira, maybe from some other system. So yeah, you have to create the connectivity, which is eventually possible. So here we have a marketing data and it's 1,000 records. So it's a big data set which I'm considering. I'm not considering like a small data set, by the way, right? And again for a sales, so I have created 1,000 record data, so which is again a big one. So we have two data set. Now instead of using this two data set, I can try to connect with the two different databases, maybe any databases or maybe any other system. So this is the folder where I'm keeping the data. Now what we are going to do, so now we are going to basically create a file called as maybe like agent.py file. Now this is where you have to understand the Autogen. That's it. Apart from that, like it's just a Python code. Everywhere it's just a Python code which is going to work on behalf of us. So here, let me explain you this code base, what we are trying to do. And this is the only important piece of the code, or maybe you can say a new kind of a code that you all will be able to find out. So here, as you can see, we are trying to import a Autogen, right? And Autogen is nothing but another piece of library, so which is going to help me out in terms of creating the agents. And technically, agent is nothing but an entity which will be having a LLM access. So here, first of all, a very first function which I have created, and as you can see, this is not a like a fancy functions basically. So this is the function so which is going to take an access of a LLM. And LLM wise, so I'm trying to provide a GPT-4o mini. I can try to provide any other LLM, that's completely okay. And here is my configuration for the LLM. So technically, this function is going to return the LLM configuration, and this LLM I will be using inside my agent, because this is what my agent needs. And if you remember, even from a init-n, so whenever we try to create a init agent node, it requires LLMs, it requires memory, and it requires a tool. Memory and tool is optional, but LLM is mandatory, right? Because that's a superpower of this agents, right? Because without LLMs, they can't do anything, right? Tool is fine. If you're not going to provide a tools, it will try to use LLMs over there. If you're not going to provide a memory, again, it's completely okay. But if you're not going to provide LLMs, it's not okay. So here we are providing the LLM. Now, as I have mentioned inside my design, that I will be having agent. First, let's talk about these two agents. Yeah, these two agents. So I will be having a first agent and I will be having a second agent. So first agent who will behave as a data analyst. So this is the function I have created, a very simple function, and I'm saying that system message wise, I'm giving instruction that you are a senior data analyst specialized in a sales and marketing analytics. So what is your responsibility? So your responsibility is to analyze sales and marketing data provided to you. So whatever data which I'm going to fetch from the database or maybe from my vector DB. So analyze those data, identify trend pattern and anomalies, calculate a key matrices and KPIs, provide a data driven insights, be precise and analytical in your finding, and you receive a context from a RAG system containing the real sales and marketing data. Base all your analysis on this retrieved context. So this is the simple messages, and I believe nothing new for us. Every time whenever we are trying to create the agent, we try to provide the system message that okay, this is something that you have to do. You can try to elaborate this message if you are not getting a proper responses, that's completely okay. But yeah, now where my Autogen will come into a picture. So only this place, only this much of code is required for Autogen. Autogen dot assistant agent, as simple as that. So this is where we are using a library. So assistant agent, name is what? A data analyst. System message is what? This message. Because so this is the piece of the code which is going to create an agent for me. So here agent name I have given, yeah, here agent message I have given, and here I am giving a LLM. That's it. Is it making sense, guys, how to build an agent inside Autogen? And I think it's pretty much easy, right, for any one of us. Yeah, so it's not a big deal. Just same thing we have done in Crew AI. So what we were doing, so we were building a small team in terms of Crew, and at the end of the day, any agent we are going to build, it needs a message, it needs a LLM, it needs a tool calling, or maybe like a name or something. So so agentic concept is same everywhere. Doesn't matter which framework you are going to use. I mean, like, philosophy is not going to change. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So only one line. Actually, it's a one line only, right? Which I have written in 3 or 4 lines. But yeah, technically it's a one line. Autogen.assistant agent, and then my work will be done. Now, same thing if I'm going to do it, even with respect to a UI interface. Where is the Autogen UI interface? Yeah. So assistant agent, right? As you can see over here, assistant agent, basically this is a pre-built agent. I can try to go and I can try to create my own new agent as well, right? So I can go, I can create a new team, and then inside the team I can try to create the as many agents as I want. So just like this, right? Just like this, I'm trying to create it over here. Yeah. So this is the only piece of the code. So either I can do it with the help of drag and drop, or maybe with the help of this piece of the code. And this is the only place where Autogen comes into picture. So simplest implementation I'm trying to show you guys. So this is one of my agent which I have created, analyst agent. It is going to return this function. So whenever I'm going to call this function, technically it is returning what? A agent, analyst agent. This is what I'm trying to return. Then the second agent, agent number 2, as per my diagram. Agent number 2. So it will just take all the data, and then it will try to finalize the report. Now what I have written as a system message, this one, that you are a professional report writer. So this is basically my writer agent, specialized in a business reporting. What is your responsibility? To take analytic finding from the comprehensive report, means whatever my agent number 1 is going to give you, take that one, and a structured report with a clear section, executive summary, key findings. I believe this is what it is doing, right? So executive summary, key findings, everything it is trying to do it as per the instruction. If not, I'll change my prompt, because we all know that in case of agent, majority of times the game is all about prompting. Yeah. So if I have written a clear instruction, then my system is going to behave in that particular manner. A structured report with a clear section, executive summary, key finding, write in a professional and a clear and engaging manner, provide a actionable recommendation, format a report properly with the bullet points and sections. So okay, fine. This is what eventually it will do, and I believe it is doing it. So when it is trying to create this entire report, so yeah, bullet point, comprehensive way, it is trying to take the insights, recommendation, everything as per my mentions, as per my prompt, it is trying to do it for me. So okay, again this is my agent number 2, only one line, right? So I have given agent name, I have given a system message, this one, and I have given the LLM. Simple, right? So this is going to return, this function is going to return my writer agent. And as you can see, it's not different, right? So I can, in this way, I can create hundreds of agent I want, as simple as that. Then what we are trying to do, so basically we are trying to create a user proxy agent. Now what this does, by the way, in case of Autogen, so basically they have given you this function, so which is going to orchestrate the agents. Means I have to call these two agents, right? So basically how I would like to call, which one will be called first, second, and all these things. So basically this is going to help me out in terms of doing that orchestration. So Autogen.user proxy agent, name I have given user proxy, human input never, basically. Auto reply, consecutive auto reply is equal to 0, code is false, default auto reply is equals to null. So this is basically another proxy agent which I am going to create. Simple. So this is my third agent. I told you, right, when I was trying to create this diagram, that technically we have three agents. So one agent which is going to call these two agents, right? This is something that we have. And even if you will try to follow along over here, so you can say that this is a proxy like that we are trying to create, so that it will be able to call my different agent as per the need. Okay. So here, what we are doing, so we are writing a function generate report with the Autogen multi-agent. It will take a query, right? It will take like a report type, and it is going to give me the number of result, means number of data it is going to fetch. So here, if report type is sales, see, everything will work in a auto trigger mode, right? But yeah, even in case of auto trigger, so I have to define each and everything, right? So if report type is sales, right? So what it will do? So it will try to call basically retrieve sales data. So first of all, it will retrieve the data, right? Technically a context. If report type is marketing, so it will try to retrieve marketing data. And if otherwise, it will retrieve the combined data. So first of all, what this function is trying to do? So basically this function is trying to retrieve the data. And then here, so we are trying to create an object of, you can say, or like a variable of the three agents that we have already created above. Now this function I will try to introduce. I have not introduced this function. So there is a different file in which these functions are available. So just to retrieve the data means this one. So you will query, it will go to vector database, right? So this is like for this retrieval and retrieve top n record, as simple as that. So for this flow, we have a function, and then we have basically an object of, or you can say a variable of these three agents. And then basically we have given the analysis prompt. So based on the following data retrieved from the database, please analyze and identify key insights. So I will send a query, I'll send a context. Basically query plus context is what? RAG. Making sense, guys? Yeah. So query plus context. So technically I'm using a agentic RAG. This is what I'm trying to show you. So my input query and my context means the output which I will get from my vector databases as per my query. So these two things I'm going to send, and please provide key metrics as numbers, notable trend, top performance, all those things, right? Then what it will do? So it will take a help of this proxy agent which I have created. I told you, right? So one agent I'm going to use basically a proxy agent which is going to call other agent as per the need, you can say, right? So I'm just trying to say that, okay, fine. So user proxy initiate a chat. So I'm trying to initiate the chat with analyst agent, right? And here is my analyst agent. So data analyst agent, the very first agent, I'm trying to initiate a chat. Message maximum turn is equals to 1. So once this will be done, so whatever in this analyst is going to give me the final report, what I'm trying to do, so I'm just trying to create another agent over here, right? Or I'm going to call the another agent, and here I'm trying to call a writer. So this agentic call should happen in a sequential manner. First this should be called and then this should be called. This is what I'm trying to do. As simple as that, with the help of my proxy. So proxy is technically helping me out to call any number of agent which I have created, and in whatever sequence. So maybe I have some graph kind of a sequence, maybe I have some loop kind of a sequences. I will be able to create all of those things with the help of this one. So here I have basically a linear one. So after one agent, we have to call another agent. So this is what it will try to do it. And then it is going to give me the final report. Now, once it is going to give me the final report, the responsibility of this function will be done. Yeah, responsibility of this function will be done. As simple as that. So this is what we are doing, guys. And this is technically the whole call, you can say, right? Nothing much in terms of code. We are just using a direct library, as you can see, and we are it's just an Autogen that we are trying to use directly. And this is how simple it is in terms of creating the agent and in terms of calling the agent. Making sense? Chirag is asking which framework is most popular for a code-based automation. You can use any of this framework. It's completely okay, right? So you can use any, and it's completely fine. Mostly it depends upon your client and your company's adoption. So some people are using maybe a LangChain, LangGraph kind of a framework. If you have a Microsoft like a affiliated client, because Microsoft itself is a big company and they have a lot of clients and they have a lot of product line. So in that case, obviously they will not recommend you LangChain or LangGraph kind of a things. They will recommend you go ahead and use Autogen, right? So it's just like that. And creating agent or anything philosophically, it's same. Like it's not going to change at all. At the end of the day, whether you are going to use this library or that library. Yeah, a lot of code is there, but making sense. Yeah, a lot of code, but not difficult to understand. Believe me, not difficult to understand. And the code base is becoming big, maybe just because of this prompt, because we are using 10 lines just to write this kind of a prompt. Do we get any support or something like that from the Azure for this? If your Azure is your client, then obviously, yeah. Otherwise, why anyone will support you? Okay. So this is done, right? This is done basically. So this particular function, so agentic creation is done. Now, whatever will happen, it will happen around these agents at the end of the day, right? So now what we are going to do, so maybe we are going to see a function. So where we are going to send a data or store a data into a vector databases. Simple. So all the supporting function we have to create. So because we have to do a lot of tasks, right? We have to fetch, read a data. After reading a data, we have to use some LLM. And then by using those LLM, I have to store those data into a vector DB. Then whenever someone is going to query, it should go to a vector database, fetch top n record, and then pass that as an input to my agent, the agent which I have already created. Now, once I will be able to get the output from the agent number 2, I have to call basically visualization. Then I have to send my like a visualize report and my text report over a mail and over a telegram. So lot of supporting code we have to write over here for storing a data, for like doing a query, storing it into a vector databases, for visualizing this data, for a mail basically, and for a telegram. So we have to write all of this supporting code around this agent number 1 and agent number 2. So the core functionality was only like a 2 line. Technically it's a 1 line, autogen dot and then create a assistant agent. That's it. That was the only core line. Everything is going to happen around this entire workflow that we have created. So the very first thing is, let's try to create maybe a file called as vectordb.py file. Yeah, vectordb.py file. Now what it will do, so basically it will try to vectorize each and everything, and then it is going to save a data. Where? So I'm saving a data into a ChromaDB. You can try to save a data anywhere you want, and ChromaDB is something that I think we all are familiar with, right? So we have already discussed about the ChromaDB, Pinecone, everything. So yeah. So here is a piece of the code. Now what it will do, so it will one by one basically like read a data, and after reading a data, so it is going to basically save a data into the ChromaDB. So whenever we are implementing such automation in an organization, do we need to have a LLM model always up and running? We are looking to use Azure AI search. Will it be costly? If I'll talk about just this one, in terms of sending a report, so I'm sending a report at 9 o'clock. So my system will be in a hibernation mode, or my system will be in a sleep mode. So my LLM. So I don't have to keep my, even LLM instances up and running. So maybe my LLM instance will start itself 2 minutes before, or just like a 2 second before. We have to send the reports, and once it will create the report, all system go for a hibernation, or maybe all system can go for a sleep. So especially for this one, we don't need all the system up and running. It's just a report sending machine, right, that we are trying to create. So in this situation, no, it's not required, by the way. Yeah. Okay. So basically this is a file that I have written, so which is nothing but which is going to like read a data, and after reading a data, so basically it is going to store your entire data set into a ChromaDB. We have already seen this kind of a code so many times already. Okay. Now there is something called as So storage part will be done, right? So vector storage part, the very first part. So whether we have a marketing data, whether we have a sales data, I will be able to store it into a vector DB. Now there is something called as visualization, because we are using it, right? Visualization agent, whatever report or whatever data I will get. So I have to create a beautiful visual, beautiful graph. I have to create it. So here there is a separate file, a completely separate file, right? Which you will be able to find out. So which is going to like take sales data, and then it is going to basically like create a beautiful graph for all of us. So basically this is where this visualization dot py file will come into picture. I'll come back once again, right? Basically like this is something which is not complex, but yeah, we are doing a lot because we have to create a final visualization. So obviously these many number of lines are technically required. Now, so visualization is one thing. Then what we have to do, so basically we have to have a report generation. Let me bring all the file here. Then we should have email sender, telegram file we should have. We must have a agent saving the conversation. And then we should have a scheduler.py file. So here the entire story is going to start like I said. So I'm just orchestrating my entire things in a scheduler, right? So the entire story is going to start from the scheduler basically. So scheduler is going to initiate each and everything. This is my trigger point, by the way. I can create a chat interface for a trigger point. I can try to, initiate this trigger with respect to my WhatsApp message or maybe my Telegram message or maybe something else. But yeah, as of now, I'm trying to create a trigger point with respect to a scheduler that, okay, wake up at 9 o'clock, create a entire report and send those entire reports to the respective stakeholder. This is what I'm trying to do, as simple as that. Now, so my trigger point is going to be this one, and this is something which is going to call everything, means literally everything inside your file. Yeah. So what it is trying to do, so it is trying to call generate a sales performance report from where. So basically we have a report generator.py file, and here we have a function, so which is going to like a query basically. So for everything, as I have already mentioned, so for everything we must have a query, right? So either we are going to send a query via chat, or maybe I can try to send a query via system. So here, as system is working on itself, we are not doing anything. So I have already written a query over here that, okay, at 9 o'clock when my system will wake up, so this is the query which I am sending, analyze a sales performance report. Now once I'm going to call this analyze the sales performance report, it is going to build the entire query, and then it is going to basically call generate report with RAG. Yeah. So basically it is going to call my RAG, and here, so generate report with Autogen multi-agent. So it is going to call my generate report with a multi-agent, where it is taking a query, report type, and then like it is going to follow the entire processes, whatever processes which I have written. So this is what I am trying to do over here. Then generate marketing campaign report, I am trying to call, then quarterly summary. So all of these things I am trying to import. Then once this will be done, so I'm trying to call basically like a email sender, visualizer, telegram, all of these things. So here, scheduler wise, if you will go through this function, so generate and send a daily report. So this is the flow you will be able to find out. So where it is using nothing but all the import, or you can say all the other things which I have written in some other, like some other classes basically. So here, the whole process will start from here. So once my system is going to wake up, right? So everything is going to start from here. Basically, generate a sales performance report. So it is like going to call this one, analyze the sales performance as a query, build a query, and then start the engine. Now, once this is going to give you the sales report, so I'm trying to save this sales report to some file, which is nothing but a txt file, right? I'm trying to append those reports to a txt file. Then generate a marketing campaign report. So my scheduler will try to generate the marketing campaign report and return me the file. Then generate the combined summary. So this is going to execute or call the agents. So which is going to do this one, this particular pass, right? And then like generate all the charts. So basically generate all the visualization for me, and then send HTML email with the chart. So this is going to send the HTML email to me. And then if success, so it should show you in a console that okay, email sent successfully. And then I'm trying to call send a telegram. So it is going to send all the messages over a telegram as well, if it is configured, right? So this is a flow. Part number 1, part number 2, part number 3, and then done. Finally, send a mail and send a telegram. And eventually that is going to call my agents. Now here I'm trying to write the scheduler. So if you are using maybe a cron job, so you can like, do it just by, writing one single line. So here I'm writing everything in a Python. So here is my scheduler. So scheduler is nothing but schedule dot every day at schedule time. So whatever time which I am going to pass, right? And then dot do. So do what? So do the above one. This one. Do the above one. Yeah. So generate and send a daily report. So this is the task which I am trying to define to my scheduler. So in Python, there is a beautiful module called as schedule. You will be able to find out. And with the help of this schedule, you will be able to create your own scheduler in a very, very easy way. And you can assign any task to that scheduler. So technically it is going to run that function at that particular point of a time. And this is just one line of a code. Again, not a heavy one, just this line. Rest of these things are just a print statement, right? Nothing much. So this is what I'm trying to do. Schedule dot every day and schedule time. So whatever schedule time that you are going to provide, it is going to work automatically. So every day, maybe I can configure it for every month, right? So all of these things are basically possible, right? So here I'm trying to run it in a infinite loop. Because what I want, so I want this system to be up and running so that every day at this scheduled time, so whenever it will find a scheduled time, it should send the report, right? It should send the report. So while true, schedule.run pending, and it will like check every minute that okay, fine. So when I have to send the report, when I have to send the report, by the way. So whenever it will be equal to this scheduled time, it will just run it. So this is for a scheduling, one line of a code with the help of Python library. And then this is for the running it in an infinite loop while true, right? Infinite loop. That's it. This is the like a Python code. And then I have written one separate code because I had to test it. So I just want it to run anytime I want, right? So basically I have written one separate function. So which is nothing but a run now, but this is not the actual, this is just a testing function, right? I have written so that I can run it anytime. I don't have to wait for 9 o'clock or any time like, which I'm going to schedule. So generate a send a daily report. So same function I'm calling, same function, which is written inside the scheduler. So scheduler is my entry point, by the way. And here I have given the argument that if argument length is greater than 1 and argument is now, so just try to call run now, else start the scheduler. So technically start the scheduler part, this part basically. So this is guys, this is technically like going to call or trigger the entire system that we have, right? So this is something which is going to trigger. And if you're going to remove all the print, so again, it will be like a very less line of a code you will be able to find out. So hope the scheduling part is fine. And hope we all are able to understand that what is my trigger point. Yeah. This argument part. So whenever I'm going to execute the code, right? So basically, if I'm going to say that, okay, fine, as an argument, if I'm going to give now, means from a command line, so technically it will try to run itself now, means it will call technically this particular function, right, run now function, as I have mapped it over here. Otherwise, it will try to call the scheduler. That's it. This is just a condition. Length of the argument is greater than 1, and this one, then just try to call this. That's it. Okay. Run now. So this is my trigger point, guys. So far we have been doing with respect to chat, right? So whatever system that we have created, so we have interfaced that system with the chat, but every system we are not supposed to interface with the chat window, as we have already seen in case of NA10. We were using a trigger. So this is my trigger file, by the way. My scheduler is my trigger file. Okay, now let's look into this email one. So again, I have already taught you, even in my past, that how to send an email with the help of SMTP protocol, right everyone? I think we have written an email sending like a Python file, right? Even in past. Yeah. So same thing I'm trying to use SMTP request, right? So where what you will have to do, so you have to basically go to Google, right? You technically have to, same process I have already taught you in a past. So here you have to go and you have to write a Gmail app password. It is like you have to create your app password, by the way. Oh, I have to pass my password for this Gmail. Okay, let me do it. So I have not like changed this code base, by the way. So I'm using the exact like same thing which I have used in my previous classes. So as we all know that we can come over here, we can try to give a name of this app, and then we can try to create it, and this is going to give me the app password. I can activate, I can deactivate it. So if I'm going to deactivate it, even if you have my like this one, you will not be able to access my mails, by the way. Yeah. So this is what, let me delete it. Yeah. So this is what we have to do to access my Gmail. So from any mail to any mail, I'm going to send the mail. So basically this will be my like origin from where I'm creating the app password. My destination can be any mail ID, right? My destination can be any mail ID. Rest is just a story. So basically what I have done, so I have to send a beautiful, a mail. Technically, I have to send this kind of a template, not just a raw mail. So it's just like with the help of vibe coding. So I have created this entire template. You can try to create a template in your own way, right? Any like in any way that you want. So it's just a template, HTML template, which has been created. And I'm just like feeding my own data over here. That's it, right? Feeding my own data. So this is the HTML template, which has been created. You can modify this template. You can try to mention some other messages. That's like completely okay. Yeah. So this is just a HTML, nothing much. Now, so this is HTML email template. So just for templating, and this is for sending the mail inside that HTML basically. And I'm using the exact same thing, right? So like SMTP request, I'm trying to like send over here. It is eventually trying to call all my visualization and then sending a mail to it. So the main core functionality of this mail is this much. So where I'm trying to like give a Gmail user, recipient mail ID, subject I'm trying to give, and then a body. So body is like this entire things. Whatever I'm trying to parse from my HTML, I'm just like to send those things inside the body, right? And here, so with the help of app password, I'm trying to access it. That's it. Nothing much, right? Nothing much in terms of sending a email. Now, the another component is basically a Telegram sender, right? So even over a Telegram, so I'm trying to send all of these things, right? Now, to send any kind of messages over a Telegram, so you have to do a little bit of configuration. Like I told you, so you can interact with your Telegram in two ways. One way is like, while creating a bot. So to create a bot, I can go over here. I can try to search basically like a bot father that we have already done in our previous classes. So this is the approach that we have already seen. And I have integrated this even with respect to my flight search engine. Last class itself, right? Last Sunday itself, we have already used this particular approach, a bot based approach, where we were like, able to fetch a flight. Now, by this approach, right? So by this approach, you will be able to basically send something to a bot. Yeah, so I don't want to do that. Basically, I just wanted to send this message to someone's personal message, to my mail, to my number basically, or maybe to your number over a Telegram. So I can't use this bot father approach. What I can do, I can try to basically I have to use basically a different approaches, and this is what I'm trying to use over here, right? So I'm trying to create a Telegram client. I have also done a testing, so maybe I can show you that testing in somewhere some different places. So yeah, the code for this Telegram is only this much. What is required? Let me show it to you. So you need basically app ID, you need a API hash, that's it. So if you have a app ID and you have a API hash, you will be able to send a message to any number. As you can see, I have given my own number. It's my number with my country code, right? And this is my message. So you will be able to send it. These two things are required. Now, from where you will be able to get these two things? From here. You can even test it now. Yeah. So I'm just pinging you this piece of the code, and you can test your Telegram. So just open up a Telegram, go to this URL, and once you will go to this URL, it is going to ask you to fill a small form. And once you are going to fill this small form, it is going to give you this kind of a page, this kind of a detail. So basically it is going to ask you for app title and short name. Once you are going to do that, so it is going to give you the app configuration. Yeah. So this is my app configuration, by the way, from the URL which I have already shared with you. So just go to this URL and fill this details, and then you will be able to see this particular page. Now don't worry. So even if I'm going to share this entire app configuration with you, for example, if you have a my app ID and if you have my API hash, you won't be able to use it, right? I'll tell you the reason. So that's the reason I'm showing you this part. And this is going to be the unique. So only one time system is going to create, and whenever you are going to refresh with respect to your own Telegram, you will be able to see the exact same configuration. Yeah, you will be able to see the exact same configuration. So just go there and then try to create your own app ID and your own API hash key, and just use this piece of the code. Yeah, use this piece of the code, change your number. So I have given my own number, and you can try to change this one as well. So this is my own name. I'll tell you why I'm keeping this particular part, right? This particular session part, but I have just pinged you the piece of the code. Now installation wise, guys. So installation wise, basically you have to install a Telethon. So there is a Python library for a Telegram called as Telethon. So this is something that you have to install. So just you can test it separately. You can test it separately. Yeah. So I have given you a piece of the code, and you can just configure any number over here. Any number means literally any number, and from any country. Here is my number. You can maybe change it with your number or someone else's number. What will happen, by the way, right? Like I said, so even if you will be having my app ID, even if you will be having my hash, which is unique and which is like one-time creation, still you will not be able to send it, because whenever you are sending a message to anyone for the very first time, right, it is going to ask for the OTP. It is going to ask for the OTP from the verified number only for once, right? And then it is going to set this one inside the session. So what it will do, it will try to create a local file. Means it's not like every time you have to do go with the verification. No, only once you have to go with the verification. So for one system, right? If I'm going to delete this file, so again I have to go for the re-verification. So I'm going to delete it, by the way, now. So it is going to create this session. Now what this file does, by the way, so it is going to keep your authorization in a particular session, so that again and again you won't have to go and verify. So even if you have my app ID and app hash, and let's suppose if you are going to execute a code, right, it is going to pop up and it will say that, okay, give me a number. So where I'm going to send the verification. And if you are going to give a wrong number, right, again, it is not going to work because it will try to verify with the app ID and app has, right? If you're going to give a correct number, let's suppose you have given my number because this is my app ID. So I will receive the OTP, and unless and until I'm not going to share OTP with all of you, you will not be able to do anything, by the way. So even if this is going to be compromised, it's completely fine. I have to do a OTP verification. Once I'm going to establish this session, and once this session file will be available, from next time onwards, it will not ask for these things. So even in case of scheduler, right? So at least once I have to verify and like, feed my OTP, and then automatically every day at 9 o'clock, it will send a report. So let me delete this file. And here, so if I'm going to execute it, Python telefam. So see, again, it has created the session file, right? Please enter your phone. So here with the country code, I have to enter my phone number. So 919176072251. Now, once I'm going to do it, it is going to give me the OTP over a Telegram itself. So my login code is 88915. So 88915. Now it's done, right? And then you will be able to see that it has sent me my OTP. Right? This OTP, this is the OTP which I have received. Where is my OTP? Yeah, this is the OTP which I have received just now, 10:45 AM IST. And then here is my test mail, right? Whatever I have written, so I am able to receive it. Only this much you have to do in terms of configuration. And I can send a message to anyone basically. So whatever number which I am going to feed it over here, right? Or maybe I can run it in a loop. Maybe I have to send this message to multiple numbers. Not an issue. Keep all those numbers inside the list or maybe inside a tuples. Run the loop, right? Run the loop, simple. And maybe I have to write some if-else condition that send this report to this person, that report to that person. I can do everything, right? Everything I can do it. So it's not a big deal for me. But yeah, technically this is the piece of the code, line 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then done. This is how you will be able to communicate with the Telegram. Easy peasy manner. So not by creating a bot or something. Now I can personalize all the messages to a Telegram user. Let's suppose if I have 10,000 Telegram user and if I have to, send all the marketing messages to all the Telegram user, I can do that without paying anything. Making sense? So it's a first time 2FA. Yeah, it's a 2FA for the very first time. And if I'm going to delete the session file, again, I have to go with the two-factor authentication. See, if I'm sending it now, right, it will send directly. It will not ask for the authorization. See, this time it has not asked for the authorization because this file was there. This is the session file it has already created. If I'm going to delete it, then it will ask for the authorization. Fine, guys. Yeah. So Telegram connection, but not with the bot, basically with the real user, right? So I can send it programmatically, and it's very easy things to do, as you can see over here. So this is what I'm doing over here. Telegram client, I'm trying to give a name of the session so that, for the very first time, it will ask for the authorization. From the next time onwards, it should not ask me for the authorization. As simple as that. And then whatever I'm sending over the mail, I'm sending over the Telegram as well. All those charts and then those reports and those files. That's it, right? Whatever I want, I can just send it. So this is a Telegram communication. Now the main file which I have to give over here is credentials, right? Because without credential, how it will work? So I have to give my .env and config file over here. So .env, and I'm trying to keep couple of things. So OpenAI key I'm trying to keep over here. Gmail user means origin user. Gmail app password I'm trying to keep. Recipient wise I have given this one. I can try to give a list of the recipient. Telegram app ID, Telegram API has, and Telegram phone number. So again, this phone number can be multiple. This recipient email ID can be multiple. As simple as that. So you have to basically change all of these things because I'm going to deactivate my app password. Anyhow, you will not be able to use my API ID and API hash because you need an OTP from my side, right? And then rest is going to work. Even OpenAI key, so it will be working during this session, but yeah, after that I'm going to deactivate it. So this is basically like this is the only parameter that you have to set, even if you are going to deploy it over a cloud platform, right? Maybe like not all the parameter, maybe leave this part and leave this part, right? Rest of the parameter you can try to set over a cloud platform. And then we are like going to call the config.py file. So we are going to read everything, right? So all this like things, and then any file and every file will be able to technically use it. So this is the whole and soul story, everyone. So once I'm going to execute this entire things, it is like going to basically like create or it is going to send a report for me. Please show the step from where we can find the API key for the Telegram. Basically, I have already pinged you the link. Let me show you once again. So this is basically a link. my.telegram.org apps. Yeah, this one. This is the link, guys. I've just pinged you. What to put in URL? Nothing. Just like just hit this URL. It is going to ask for the login, by the way. So it will ask for your number, and once you are going to log in with your number, then it will ask you to give the app ID and app name. That's it. Then it will give you this one. So for example, if I'm going to hit this URL, right? So see, it is asking me for my phone number. Once I'm going to give my phone number, it is like it will send me my OTP. Once I'm going to give a OTP, then it will ask me to like give a app name, and then the page which I have shown you, right? This page. So this page will be created for forever. This one. So where you will be able to access a Telegram programmatically by using any program, like by using any programming languages, by the way, maybe Python, maybe Java or something else. But yeah, you just need like these two things. In the form, it is asking for, okay, in the form, it is asking for the URL. Just give Euron URL, anything. It's just like ask for the verification, authorization. Maybe give a Euron URL, that's fine. So you would use a URI API place of user API. Yeah, obviously, you can use any APIs. At the end of the day, you just need a LLM access. That's it. Okay. So URL, that's a dummy field, by the way. So I mean, like basically, they are doing a verification so that whenever you will do something wrong, or whenever someone will start blocking you. Let's suppose I have 5, because now in this way I can send this to any number, right? So maybe let's suppose I have a 10,000 number in my databases. I can send a marketing mail or sales mail to any number without doing any kind of a payment or something, right? So basically, they like do those verifications. So if someone is going to block your number, then uh, just for the later verification. But yeah, you can put any like URL, any dummy URL. Everything is going to work. Okay, fine, everyone. Now, so let me share like this entire code block, the final version of this code block, and so that even you will be able to run it now, and even you will be able to uh, like test it. So just a minute, I am going to upload this one. Yeah, the working code with my credential and everything I'm going to share with all of you. Okay, it's a 22 MB file. So in a later stage, same piece of code will be available inside your dashboard. So once I'm going to upload the recording. Okay, so here is a drive link. For now, you can download the entire piece of the code. And I have also created a bat file just for like a quick check. If you're using a Windows machine, right? If you're using a Windows machine, so you will be able to find out that I have created basically something called as send report now a bat file. So basically it will work in a Windows system. It is not going to work in any other system. So to work into any other system, so you have to like execute a scheduler basically. So you can execute a scheduler and it is going to work. But yeah, for Windows, for my testing purposes, I have like created this. So execute this and leave it. Or maybe if you have to like treat your own system as a server, so maybe you can just try to like click on this bat. So this bat is nothing but a Windows file. Eventually, it is going to like call the scheduler at the end of the day. Those who are not using like a Windows, maybe you are using a Mac or some other machine, so maybe you can try to call this one to execute it now and to schedule it. So you can try to use this one. Two commands. One, now means it is going to test it now, and then scheduler .py means it will send at 9 o'clock, whatever time that I'm going to configure with. So execute it, guys, and let me know quickly. Are you able to do it or not, or what kind of issue you are facing? So just to test it quickly, just click on like a bat file. Double click on bat file. For example, if I have to test it quickly, so send report now. I'll just click over here. So technically it is trying to call my scheduler now. Scheduler with now parameter. And inside your configuration file, you will be able to find out a timings. So timings, time schedule, basically. So here, the configuration file which I have already discussed with you, this one. So here we are setting up the time. So you can try to set any time. You can try to set any time zone, your wish, basically. So I'm trying to set my like IST time, Asia Kolkata. You can try to set your timing in your like own way. It's fine. This is the parameter which will go inside my scheduler run. So are you able to execute it, guys? Send report now. Yeah. And maybe double click on start scheduler and scheduler will up and running. So as long as your system will be up and running, scheduler will up and running, and then whatever, when it will reach to the time, it will send the report. Means it will process the entire code, whatever you have written, and then it will like, send. And all logs you will be able to see it here. So when it is trying to execute, so which one it is trying to call, which agent call, what it is trying to like do after what, everything you will be able to see it here. So anyone who is able to like execute it, guys. Even you have my session file, so Telegram session file. So I think it will work. It's failed to download, is it? Anyone who is able to download, maybe because of the API key. Yes, yeah. So couple of people are able to download it. Virus detected is says maybe because of the API key. So I will have to upload inside your dashboard, and from dashboard you can download it. Let me upload inside your dashboard in a previous lecture itself. Let me upload inside your dashboard. From your dashboard, so it's just a raw file download, right? So Gen AI Drive, Gen AI certification bootcamp. So in your previous lecture, I'm appending this one. A 5th October lecture you have, right? So there itself, I'm going to upload a file. Okay. Okay, fine guys. So you can go to your dashboard. You can go inside your batch, basically. Not in this one. I don't have access to it. So Euron, and then go inside your batch, continue learning. And in your previous lecture, 5th October, right? Inside the resource section, you will be able to find out this one, Autogen report generator. So this is the file which I have uploaded. You can try to click and then like maybe download it. Yeah. So it's working for me, as you can see. Downloading. It's 22 MB of file. That should not give you a virus problem. Done, everyone? Yeah. So yeah, now it is sending me like it has sent me a beautiful email, I believe. Yeah, I have just received the email. And the only thing which I have to do with this report is I have to map it with the like a database. That's it. So every day it will run the query. It will like find out bring the data, and then rest will be like done automatically. So as you can see, I am able to receive the beautiful report, and that too with the analytics. Same issue. What next? Okay. So what next is like run it. Send a report now. So this is the bat file which I have given to you. If you are using a Windows machine, if you are not using a Windows machine, in that case, Python scheduler.py now. So this is the code, and it will run. It will start sending the report. But yeah, I'll get the report, by the way, because that's my like a configuration which is available there. If it is still showing you a virus detected, then you have to like switch off your antivirus first of all. So go to your security, system security, and then switch it off. Otherwise, it will keep on giving you this issue. Done, everyone? Ran, hope report is going on your Telegram. Yeah, I have received one report. So this is not my execution. Someone else has executed it. So I got it here. I got it here as well. So yes, it's like coming. How to run after import in a VS Code? Simple. So inside a VS Code, now let's suppose this is my code. So basically, CLS code is Python scheduler, and if you have to like schedule it, so just run python scheduler.py, and if you have to test it now, then parameter is now. This is what I taught you right here, this part. Yeah. So run now means it will try to run now itself. Schedule means it will try to schedule it as per the timing. And what is the timing which I have given? In my config file, I have given the timing. Schedule time is basically 9 AM IST, Asia Kolkata time zone. it is showing schedule is running. Yeah. So if you have like run it with schedule.py, then yeah. If you have given a parameter as now, then obviously it will send me a report. I will be receiving a report maybe in some time once it will complete the execution. Okay, so only one person I believe is able to run it. There are so many people here, but I don't know what's an issue. Still unable to download. Then switch off your security. Simple. If you are not able to download, so your basically system is preventing this download in a virus scan. No one can do anything if you are not able to download it in your system. You just have to like switch off the security. That's it. Okay, so hope this project is super amazing for all of us. Now you can just use this code base to automate whatever you want, at least in terms of a reporting, and then send a report at least to two places, maybe to a Telegram, maybe to a Gmail. Nothing to like change over here, but yeah. So if you would like to change some sort of a data set for you, you can go ahead and you can try to change the data set. That's it, and everything is going to work as per your need. And even you can go for the deployment. Anyhow, we have a lot of deployment classes going forward, so we'll be talking about it. But yeah, so if you would like to deploy these things, again, it's a easy peasy things like on a render at least. Error getting report, error code 401, so message incorrect API provided. No, API is correct. It should work. Just try to run it once again. What are the things we need to modify? Okay, so you have to basically modify only one thing in that case, your email sender. So go here, right? And you have to basically like figure it out that what is the procedure to send a message over a Outlook, and just change this configuration. That's it. Only this configuration from this file. If you have to send it to a Zoho, you can send it to Zoho mail as well. So you just have to change this configuration. That's it. So environment wise, this one, you have to change it. That's it. Nothing much. Yes, sir. Learn new things from you. Okay, that's great. That was the whole idea. That was the whole purpose. So finally, guys, we have seen Autogen as well. So Autogen is not very different. The way we were creating an agent by using some other libraries. So Autogen is also same. Uh, Now the question is same. If someone is going to ask you that which one you should use, again, that doesn't depends upon me. That depends upon my company, my manager. So whatever tie up my company has done, so I'll just go ahead with that one. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. I can use any of these libraries and I can try to create the agents. Command to run the py file. Python. How do we run a py file? I mean, like after these many classes, don't ask me at least these questions. How to run the py file? I mean, like Python is the command, right? Okay, so fine.